Good morning, students. Today we will be learning how to interface a temperature sensor and display its value on serial monitor. So let's start. So as we always do, all the programs of Arduino are written in 3 steps. First step, initialization of pin or declaration of pin. Second part, you have to say the pin which you have used will be termed as input or output. And the third part will be the logical sequence of program. So first step, declaration of pin. So here I am using pin number A0. So I am writing here float LM35 is equal to A0. Now what is this LM35? This LM35 is a sensor name. The temperature sensor name is LM35, but it is not compulsory to name this LM35 here. You can use any of the name which you want, but just the pin number will be A0. Now you will be wondering, till now we were using pin number 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Now why I am using A0 here? Now as we know that temperature sensor is an analog sensor. That means it can sense inputs apart from 0 and 1. The temperature may be 22 degrees centigrade, 22.5 degrees centigrade. It can be a continuous range. So we have to use analog pins which are available on this side. If you see the diagram here, these are the analog pins A0 to A5. So you have to use these pins because we are using analog temperature sensor or temperature sensor which is of analog nature. So declaration of pin is done. Next step is we will say that this pin will be used as input or output. So I will go for void setup and I will write pin mode A0 will be used as an input pin. Why input pin? Because it will be sensing the temperature. So that will be, it is a input pin. So this part is also over. Third part, we go to the void loop. Now in void loop, we write the logical sequence of commands. So now what we have to do is we have to read the value. We have to read the value sensed by the temperature sensor. So I will write here value is equal to analog read LM35. So what I am doing is by using this command analog read. Okay, I am reading the analog pin, and which pin I am reading? Pin number LM35, that is A0 pin. So I am reading the values which are sensed by the sensor on A0 pin, and I am storing it in a new variable known as value. Now because I am using a new variable value, I have to declare it in the main part where we declare the pin. So now I will write in the top part after the float, I will write int value. That means I have declared the variable, that it is an integer value. Okay. Now just understand the concept of temperature sensor. Now as we have seen that digital pins, I told you that it is 8-bit data. Similarly, the analog pins, A0 pins are 10-bit data bytes, 10-bit data. Okay, so here it will be 2 raised to 0 as we have studied in PWM, pulse width modulation, 2 square, 2 cube, 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 5, 2 raised to 6, 2 raised to 7, 2 raised to 8 and 2 raised to 9. So when you add all this, you will get value as 1023. So now what will happen here? We are giving 5 volts to Arduino. So 5 volts now. This 1023 is corresponding to 5 volts maximum. So maximum value 1023 is corresponding to maximum volt, that is 5 volts. Now we have to find what is the voltage of the value which is sensed by the sensor value. So if I cross multiply it, I will get the value here, which let us say I am saving it, name it as volts. So let us say I will write how many volts, say volts. So if 5 volt is corresponding to 1023, how many volts will be corresponding to value which is read by this statement? Okay, we have written this statement. Let me highlight this. We have written this statement, value is equal to analog read LM35. So whatever value is read here, that is a value, and we have to convert this value into voltage by using this concept which I have explained just now. So if I just cross multiply it, volts is equal to 5 into value divided by 1023. So I will put it here. So I will write down volts is equal to value into 5 divided by 1023, which is written here. Now again you can see that I have taken one more variable named as volts. So I have to declare it in the initial part. So I will now write in the initial stage after int value I will write float volts. Now int and floats are basically used where we need just an integer value and where we need a float value. Float value means it will also consider decimals. In int it will not consider decimals, it will give you the only the without decimal number. Okay, so once we have found out volts, now next step is to find out millivolts. Now why we have to find millivolts, I will tell you the later stage. So now I have to convert this volts into millivolts by just multiplying it by 1000. So I will write m volts is equal to volts multiplied by 1000. Now what is our aim? Our aim is to find out temperature. Now we are playing with the voltage, electrical currents. Now I have to convert this electrical current into temperature. So as per the specification of LM35 sensor, for every 1 degree rise, it takes 10 millivolts. Okay, that's why I have converted or found out millivolts here. Okay, this was the reason why I found out millivolts here. And once we have found written millivolts, we have to also declare it in the initial part. So I will write now declare it in the initial part after floats. So here it is float m volts. Here I have written. Okay, so we were here. Now we have to convert this voltage into temperature. So as per the specification of LM35 sensor, 1 degree centigrade is corresponding to 10 millivolts. So if I need the actual temperature, so now I will write temperature is equal to what we want is millivolts divided by 10. So that will give you conversion of millivolts into temperature. So this is the thing which we require, temperature. We have found out temperature by converting volts into temperature by using LM35 sensor. Now we have to display this. Whatever temperature is there, we have to display it on the serial monitor. So if you want to display it on the serial monitor, first thing which we have to do is we have to write down this part. We need to write down this part. That is this serial begin 9600. This is starting of serial monitor. So serial.begin, what is this 9600? 9600 is the speed rate, or you can say it is a baud rate, or you can in simple terms known as speed, in which it will communicate the data. Okay. Now, once serial.begin is done, and that means serial monitor is initialized. Now we have to see. Now we have to say what we need to print on serial monitor. So I will now write next line serial.print. Okay, this is the syntax. What we need to print on serial monitor. So I will write serial.print in bracket temperature is. Whatever you put in double quotes, that will be taken as a string and will be printed as it is on the screen. So here it will be writing temperature is. So till now whatever program we have written on serial monitor, we will get the message like this. Temperature is this will be written on the with this will be written on the serial monitor. Now what we need after this, we need the value of temperature which is sensed by the sensor, and then we need to write degree centigrade, let us say. So what I will write, by using this line serial.print temperature is, I have printed till this part. Okay, now I want to print this part. So what is this? This is the temperature value. So next time I will write serial.print temp. What is temp? Temp is the value which is stored in this particular variable. Okay. This temp is nothing but the temperature value of the temperature which is stored in this variable. So let us say if temperature is temperature sense is 30 degrees. So temperature value will be 30 and 30 will be printed here. And 30 will be printed here. Then we need this part, degree centigrade. So this is just a string. So I will write next line serial.print degree centigrade or star centigrade, whatever you write here in the double quotes, that will be taken as string and will be printed as it is. So this kind of printing will be done on your serial monitor. I will highlight that part. So this is the thing which is printed on your serial monitor. Now this is the temperature at this instant. Now let us say after every 2 seconds or 3 seconds, I need the temperature as I need that it should sense the temperature and give me the answer. So what I will write next line is serial.println. That means go to next line. This command serial.println will take the cursor to the next line, and then I will write delay. So let us say delay 2000. That means after 2 seconds. So it will go to the next line, wait for 2 seconds, and I will now close the program. So program is end. Now what will happen? This, because it is in void loop, this will run continuously. So when again it will go to read the value, then again it will convert to volts, millivolts, temperature, and so on. So after every 2 seconds, this loop will be repeated and you will get values of temperature at the serial monitor. So I hope you have understood the program. Now we will go for simulation part. Now for simulation, what I need is an Arduino board. Then I need a LM35 sensor. So this is a sensor. That's it. Only 2 components will be required. This pin is going to the power pin. Power pin means positive 5 volts. So I'll give this to 5 volts. Then similarly, this is given as ground pin. So I will give it to ground. And then finally, this pin is the signal pin or output pin. So this we will connect to pin A0, which will sense the temperature. That's it. So this is a simple connection of interfacing temperature sensor with Arduino. Now we have to go for program. So for program, I will go to the code section. Then here I will just copy paste the program which we have just discussed. After this code, you have to select on the serial monitor. And once you select the serial monitor, you can see the display values. Temperature is 74.71 degrees. Let us say I am starting the simulation. And it is starting 74.71. Now let us say if I, from here you can see this. Let us say I am changing the temperature value from here to this point. And you will see, observe, it has been changed. 102.89, 112.79. If I increase it further, it will increase further. So here it is 131.84. If I take on this side, I'm just varying the temperature. So it is now 60, 43 and so on. So this is how LM35 temperature sensor works. Hope you have got the program. So let us again go to the PPT. So this was the program which we have studied, in which we have interfaced a temperature sensor with the Arduino. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you.